Hello, my name's Alfie Taylor, and today I'd like to exhibit my computer science NEA. My NEA revolves around a device I have dubbed the Envirostat. It consists of 3 sensors, one for particulate matter, one for ozone, and one for nitrogen dioxide, a small ARM-based computer, the Raspberry Pi 0W, a small LCD screen, and a small microcontroller. This is the Atmel 80MEGA 328P. It can be connected to either a computer or a USB battery pack using the micro USB port on the top of the Raspberry Pi as such. In this case, I will be demonstrating its use with a computer. Okay, so here on the table now we have the Envirostat, and I'm going to demonstrate it functioning. So first off, I will plug this USB cable into my laptop. And the Envirostat will start booting. You can tell from the screen being on and the Raspberry Pi device showing an activity light. Now, nothing will be displayed on the screen because some of the sensors require a warm-up time to start functioning properly. And then so here on my computer, there is this file here, envirostat.sh. This is basically a script that allows me to establish a connection with the Envirostat so that I can read data off it. Once the device has booted up, I should be able to just run it as a program. And if everything works, yes, we get 2 windows. If I close this, it will terminate my connection and get rid of this folder here. Now, inside the folder there are 5 files: no2.csv, daqi.csv, o3.csv, pm1.csv, and pm25.csv. So basically, DAQI, as actually shown on the screen now, yes, you can see it. Look, it started running. DAQI is a blended air quality score based on the values of multiple different pollutants. In this case, nitrogen dioxide, ozone, PM10, which is 10 micron particulate matter, and then PM25, which is 2.5 micron particulate matter. So, if I were to open one of these files, apologies for the speed of my computer, there we go. Yes, in here we can see that this is basically a time series database containing the recorded value of the namesake of each file. So for example, this is the DAQI index, and then next to that is a timestamp, so the minutes, the hours, minutes and seconds of the day, and then the value next to it. This basically could allow us to, for example, take the device out on battery if you were a geography student, record the air quality in a whole bunch of different places, then come back and be able to compare how it's changed over time. Now, since DAQI is a blended score, we can also then open up the files for each specific pollutant that make up the DAQI. In our case, I'm looking at the ozone concentrations. Yeah, so here we can see ozone. So all of our pollutants, the units are micrograms per meter squared. Meters cubed. And yes, so you can see here, over time, we're averaging about 21 micrograms per meters cubed of ozone, which is, I believe, fairly low. But what this essentially allows us to do is not only compare how air quality decreases and increases over time, but also be able to find out what specific pollutant is causing are low air quality. So for example, I've prepared this already. I have a stick of incense. Now this is going to produce a lot of smoke, and smoke is essentially particulate matter. So if I hold it up to the particulate matter sensor here, we should, for one, see a massive spike in air quality, well, massive decrease in air quality, massive spike in DAQI score basically, but also be able to see that actually the concentration of nitrogen dioxide and ozone haven't changed, but the concentration of particulate matter has. So let me just get this lit up. Right, well, there we go. So as you can see, very smoky. Hold it up to the sensor, and yep. We can see here, it is telling me, the air quality on the little display is now at 10, which is the highest level it can be, the worst air quality, and that the air quality is actively getting worse. The score is increasing. Well, it was increasing. It's going to stop now because it actually can't get any worse than this. But what we can also then show is if we go into these files, so here look, if we look into, for example, the folder for our nitrogen dioxide values, our little piece of incense did not produce any nitrogen dioxide gases. The most recent entries into the nitrogen dioxide folder show no change at all. But if we then, for example, look at, I don't know, particulate matter, again, apologies for my slow computer. Here you can see the values staying a bit stable, and then whoa, there's a spike in air quality. A decrease in air quality, a spike in the concentrations of particulate matter. We've gone from averaging around 40 to all of a sudden going up to around 100 micrograms per meter cubed. This would be really useful if you're a geography student, because you'd be able to then say, well, cars and fires produce a lot of particulate matter, so this area must be particularly rife with this certain type of pollutant. Now you can see the device has already gone. The air quality is, yes, the score is decreasing and the air quality is therefore increasing. Now, to finish off, I'll just show you. I can take something like this, paste it into my documents folder, and if I select all of this, well, essentially I could make a graph out of this if I wanted to. I'm no wizard with spreadsheets, but yes, you can quite easily, essentially, drag and drop files, because it just appears as a USB stick to you, just containing these files here. And so finally, if I want to remove it from my system, click that, this will now stop changing. It'll just get stuck at the last display it was showing, and we can then unplug it, and perhaps in the future power it off a battery. Well, a battery pack, a USB battery pack, basically. But yeah, I'd say that's the extent of the functionality. This was Alfie with the Envirostat. Thank you very much for watching.